fast, but whatever. Not fast enough. Actually, I made that one a 1K texture too, and here it comes. If I go and I hit 6, there you go. So all lined up, everything's happy times. Great. So let's go back over here to Photoshop. So that one's saved and everything's fine. So I'm just going to go and get rid of it so I don't screw it up. And then I'm going to be taking a look at this one. And that's the same one again, and I screwed it up. I've been drinking way too much. Okay, so now we got the red one. Okay, so everything's fine. So I'm just going to go back here, and now I'm going to take that, make sure that the opacity on this is 100%, and I'm going to collapse it. So Control E. And there it is, collapsed. Cursor go. Okay, there it is. And here, you can see it. There's the one side is now in here. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the other side. Actually, before I collapse, let's just go and copy this whole thing here. I'm just going to go in and make a duplicate of this. And we'll try it again. So I take this, Control E, it's collapsed. Great. And then I'm going to go in and take the mailbox and I'm going to flip it to the other side. So if I hold down K, I get access to these little things here. And instead of the right side, I'm going to go to the left side. And let's go in and zoom in on this thing. Just going to go back to this, and I'm just going to, oops, crap, bring this thing down, and let's go back here, and I'm just going to scale it a bit more, see if I can fit it in just a tiny bit more. It actually really doesn't matter too much how far your how big your image is. What actually matters is things like how big this image is over here. This image, actually, I should have maybe even done that before I went in and collapsed it here, but I can actually go in at this point here and I can go into crap, go over here and go to image, and I can change the image size, and currently it's sitting at a 1K. I can make it into a 2K texture, right? So I can make it into a bigger texture here, and then when I save it out, I got a 2K and everybody's happy. And let's go back over here. I'm just going to take that image that I've got here, and let's go and do a quick, no, not there, Control T, do a quick flip horizontally, and let's bring down the opacity and make sure that everything is fitting just fine. So there, bottom corner piece. If I hold down this, I can, probably didn't even need to do that, you know that? If I just go in here and I hold down this, I can probably get most of it just by there. Just holding down Shift, I got it, I think. I'm going to take the opacity, block it back up again, hit Enter, and I'm going to collapse it. Control E, it's collapsed down. Let's take a look on that image, and the image hasn't updated. Let's go back over here. Just want to see what's going on. Okay, and when I go, and for some reason it didn't update on this one. I don't know why. Let's go and get rid of it. And you want to save changes? No, I didn't really do anything to it, so I'll go back here, and if I double click on it, there it is with the images. And now I can go in here and start horsing around with this thing. Maybe I shouldn't, I zoomed in too much. I just want to do the back of it. I can project onto it, but I could also just go in here and be lazy man. Lazy Bob strikes again. I'm just going to go in here and swipe this bit of information here. Control C, Control V, and Control Shift Alt, and I can move it in a straight line, put it right around here. Control T, and I'll stretch it out this way, and stretch it out this way, and just cover over those corners just enough so they look fine. Okay, great. Enter. I'm just going to go in here and trim off that little bit of extra stuff there. Thought I got it. Doesn't look like I got it. Let's move this over. Okay, so it was on the bottom part. So let's put this, say, here. And I'm just going to go Control T, and I'll just bring this over just a little bit more and cover over that last. There we go, great. And I could spend some more time and clean that up even more. I want to get rid of this little logo because I don't believe the logo exists there, so I'll just do some kind of quick little thing like this. Boop, and there, that's gone. And let's just see what happens. Control E, Control E, Control E. And then if I just go back over here to pick up, and I take a look, There's the back, and there's that funny little stain. You can just kind of see it. Sometimes you can see it's actually done a pretty good job overall. Okay, and what time are we at? 10. Okay, 10 minutes. So I got all these things done. Done not too bad. It's covered over those seams fairly well. And you can see that it actually did a bit of a botch job to the stuff at the bottom, so that's why I saved that. And yeah, so like I said, it'll be a separate texture. And so I got all this done, and what do I want to do next? Maybe what I want to go in and do is, let's do the front. So I'll just go in and see if I can go in here, go to front, boop, and let's bring this down a bit, and we'll just zoom into this thing, and just gonna fit that in here. Great. Go running over to here, and looks like there's some great stuff to take here, so I'm just gonna go and grab that whole front and Control C. Go running back over here, Control V, paste it in. It's really big. Control T, bring it down. Gotta make that noise, otherwise it doesn't go down. Great. And that's, the opacity's fairly opaque, so I'm just gonna make it transparent so I can figure out where the hell I am. That's good. And we'll bring this down somewhere around here. Then I'll just start using Control just to kind of do something like that and distort this thing over this way. And distort that back. I'm just going to keep nudging these around a little bit and see what I get. And where the hell am I? Okay, I think I was smoking crack on that bottom corner. Yeah, smoking crack. Okay, let's go back over here. And if your model is working with your reference really well and it lines up, that's not too bad. Okay, and I'm just going to take my opacity, knock it back up. And I suspect that the color is different from front to side. Yeah, I'd have to do some other photo correcting. I think I'm just going to skip that for now. I'm just going to go in and do my little trick, Control E. And there you can see it drop to the canvas. And ba-boom, there it is. If I go back over here to this image and I update it and I just zoom out, there's that front bit right there. Great. So everything's on here. What are we at? 12:35. Okay, so I can spend some time and clean up these little things. I think I'm getting close to what I want to do for the end of this movie because it's going to take a while to clean up. I can still spend a bunch more time afterwards on it. But a couple little things. The first thing is I find it sometimes hard to figure out what's what with the shadows on and stuff. And there's kind of like shading and on this. In the 3D view, there's these render settings, and in the render settings, right now it's on solid. There's a bunch of little options you can put on in here, but the one I find really useful is that. Okay, that's the unlit texture, face style unlit texture. When you hit OK, you can see what the texture is really looking like. So you can see really screams at you these bad seams in here that I've made that I've got to fix. Okay, those scream at me. Everything's fine. Good. Yeah, so those seams scream at me. I've got some other stuff to fix up here, but I'm going to leave that for now. So that's first problem. Next thing that you can check out too when you're doing your textures, clicking on this, when I'm looking at this, sometimes it's really helpful to see the wireframe on it. Okay, and if I have this selected, if I go into that 3D menu again, there's a thing called Create UV Overlays. And currently I'm on the bottom here. I need another layer here before I can use this. So go in here, Create UV Overlays, Wireframe. And so now I can see my wireframe on here. I actually created a brand new one. Okay. And you can go in and you could turn the opacity down on it if you wanted so it's easier to look at. Just make sure that you turn it off when you go back to your model, otherwise you're going to see your wireframe on your model. Okay, if I go back over here and then I turn that off and then I go back over to this thing, it's gone. It's updated. But I think that's the information you need to get your textures on here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing on these lists. You know, there's some stuff I've skipped over, but I think these are the things that are going to help you the most for texturing. Anyway, that's it for this one. And